Happy Tuesday. It is 8:22 at 8:47 a.m. and all of the gurus on video say never state the time and the day because you might forget to send it. And I very well might. But anyway, there you go. There's some authenticity. Jason Baker here with Rise Real Estate, and I wanted to I've been getting a lot. We do a bi-monthly newsletter and we send those out or text those out to our past clients, but I thought it was a good idea to go ahead and cover what's really going on in the real estate market. Everybody seems to be upset about their taxes and kind of unsure of what's going on. So just here's the no BS spin. We have a chasm between what was a couple years ago and what is now. Really, a year and a half ago was the best market that we've ever experienced in the history of Montana. Even with semi-restrictive loans, the market just went crazy because there was very limited inventory. So thank you for listening to this. And my real estate coach or my life coach said I should do a lot more reading. And so I'm just reading my newsletter to you, which I'll attach to the bottom of this email as well, if you don't want to listen to me drone on and on. So the first thing that's different is there's an affordability in home price issue or change, right? So 2021 and 2022, we had rapid price appreciation due to low inventory and low rates. It was the perfect storm. Many markets were seeing record highs in pricing. Some markets were just catching up to the losses of 2007 and 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, the last bust cycle. In Western Montana, we saw upwards of 25% appreciation annually for about 2.5 years there, give or take. And today's market prices have stabilized. So the difference between now and then is prices have stabilized. And in some cases, home prices are decreasing versus increasing. Okay, at the very least, they've stalled out. Now, there are all these national reports where nationally, if you take every single house ever in the whole entire world and you smoosh it all together, maybe there's going to be 2, 3, 4% appreciation this year. We're not necessarily seeing that here in Montana. Last year, and we'll kind of get into that, inventory levels, 2021 and 2022. When I pulled, I believe it was last February, the single family residences that were for sale, and granted, February has very low inventory because the spring rush hasn't happened yet. There was only 61 homes. So at the low, residential homes, at the very low, and that residential single family homes, there were 61. People were virtually fighting in the streets to win the bidding war, 2.875 interest rates. Today's market is much longer days on market comparatively, and close to 225 to 250 residential homes for sale in Missoula County. So is that a quadrupling? Probably from the very low, but I would say we're 2 to 3 times the inventory in most price ranges, especially over $600,000-$700,000 than we were before. Just over 200 in Ravalli County. Again, Ravalli County was approximately 60 or 70 at its low. And bidding wars right now are all but gone. Now, as soon as I say that, we had a property on Mount that had 3 offers and 4 showings. But what didn't happen is it didn't go way over 100, 150,000, over asking price before. Now it's kind of like just at or just below asking price, or maybe if there's a few people bidding, just over. Okay, so inventory levels. Now, additionally, even if we're over 200 homes for sale in Missoula and Ravalli County, we're still so much lower. I think, gosh, there must have been 600, 700, 800 homes for sale during the last bust cycle. So because we have low inventory and because Montana is probably less crazy than most of the other states that you're seeing on national news, if you're foolish enough to watch national news, for your mindset, it's never good. But the fact is, the articles that I read, this is still a destination. And the good news is that we have limited inventory historically. It may not be as low as a year and a half ago, but that's a good thing. And the reason why that's a good thing is buyers are feeling like they can buy again. Number 3, interest rates. Obviously, huge difference. Number 1 reason why we're seeing what we're seeing in this market is not because this politician or that politician, whatever. Every single politician ever in the history of America has made stupid decisions. Every single one. So the fact that we still complain about it, I don't know what we're talking about. Here's the deal. Here's what's going on. 2021, 2022, mortgage rates were at historic lows, fueling buyer demand. I mean, people could go and just like, they're like, oh, I don't like the color of my house. Oh, all right, I'm going to go buy this other one. And it'd be a lower payment, $200,000 more than they bought their other house for. I just want blue paint. People were buying for the craziest reasons. And I mean, like they could like luxury buy, right? Like they were just doing, they were just moving because they could, because it was super affordable to do that. Everybody was refinancing, market was super good, everything was free flowing, and all through COVID there, and then again the limited inventory was really driving out low rates, limited inventory. Now we have over 7% interest rates, or just over 7. Now I'm not a mortgage lender, so get your I can refer you to a few great ones, but I'm just reading this offline, okay? Little disclaimer, you have to do that now. Disclaimers about everything. Walk left, got to do a disclaimer. Walk right, got to do another disclaimer. Step off the curb, disclaimer. But anyway, today's market rates have just, so listen to this. Rates have more than doubled. So from 2.875 up to 7.125-ish. And the average payment went from up $1,500 to $1,800. What happened there is a person who was approved for an $800,000 house is now only approved for $500,000. Someone who was approved for $500,000 is now only approved for $300,000 to $325,000 for the same payment. And the sellers have not come down $300,000, $350,000 in the average price range. It's certainly in the, you see a lot of movement, $350,000, $400,000 movement in the higher echelons. Okay, the increase in rates has reduced the number of buyers that are actually out transacting in the market. And it's more of need-based right now. Nobody's like, oh, I kind of sort of want to sell. Like the lukewarm, like they're just doing it for, very little reason. Those buyers and sellers are mostly gone out of the market, okay? Also, another thing is sellers are not going to leave their 3%, typically their 3% rate for a 7% rate, unless there's a big reason why they're going to do that. So that's something that we're dealing with as well. New construction, we're seeing in the larger companies come into town that have billions and billions, if not trillions, and supported by sometimes hedge funds or large funds. They're able to outcompete money-wise because they can hedge, they can. And it's sad to see a lot of these medium-sized or small-sized 1 or 2 homes a year builders being pushed out of the market because they are a little bit more scared because they do live paycheck to paycheck still, like most of us. And it's one of those things that it's sad to see. And so we're seeing a lot of pause because they know that we're going through a market shift. It's definitely not a market implosion like the last time that we went through a shift. This is more of a normalization, which is good. But 2020, people say, why do you say it's good? Well, the prices can't go up 25% a year. Nobody. Next thing you know, a single wide trailer, no offense if you have one, is going to be worth $20 million. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense anywhere in the, it'd be nice, right? Oh, you could retire. No, you'd have to go buy a house that's $100 million. So new construction, 2001, 2022, labor shortage, supply chain interruptions. You couldn't get anything. It took 6 months to get everything. OSB went up to $2 million a sheet. Joke. It's a joke. Okay. And then today's market, a potential rebound in new construction, addressing some of the pent up demand. We're starting to see, we're seeing some months it comes, new construction's up, and then the very next month it's down. What I'm seeing locally, because you're always reading these national headlines, what I'm seeing locally is this medium and small builders are super scared about what's coming. They don't know if the rates are going to go up to 8%. Buyers are thinking, well, if I just, kind of sort of wait, I'll get a better deal on a price. Prices will be lower and my rate will be lower. So like a good double whammy for them, right? It's time for the buyers to start to win. So new construction, again, mid to small size builders are feeling the pinch. Now, buyers' priorities have shifted again. Emphasis 2001, 2022, emphasis on home office, larger spaces, suburban, rural, locals are moving out to the country. Today's market, it's a more balanced set of priorities. Number 6, seller-buyer mind gap. Sellers, when provided home values, are looking at historic data over the last year where the houses sold for more. We're starting to see houses that sold last year for in the 900s sell this year in the 800s. We're starting to see houses sell for less. And that's the byproduct of simply, and it takes a year or two to get that, the real data back in true numbers for those historic sales as they start to slide. Since there's so much data being input, it takes a long time for the average sell price to come down in the MLS, but we're seeing that. But again, sellers are kind of wanting that year and a half ago pricing, and buyers like, if I just wait here a little bit, I'm going to get a better deal, better rate, like I just said. And then it's really an honest market. The market really tells, so for sellers out there, the market really tells sellers and buyers where they need to be price-wise. If a property hasn't sold in a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, then and there's no price adjustment downward, I truly believe it's probably going to sit there for a very long time. So it's important right now to get underneath or just at what the actual price is. And how do you know what that is if you're a seller and you're considering selling your home? 3 to 5 showings a week is typically what we would experience if the home is priced right. You should have an immediate response to that because there still is limited inventory. Again, expectations should not be over asking. It should be right at or just below. But if it does happen, 5, 10 grand over, great. We're still doing that. It's like marketing matters right now. Before, you could just throw up a sign in a real estate photo that was 30 years old, which I believe is the ultimate form of false advertising. If you're a realtor listening to this, which this goes out to 3,000 realtors as well, update your photo. I'm glad to update my photo because I'm on the down with my weight. Anyway, so I'm going to get myself in trouble if I keep talking here. But so 3 to 5 showings a week for a seller. Now, for a buyer, how do you know where there might be a little wiggle room there? Ask the listing agent or have your buyer's agent ask the listing agent, look, it's been on the market for 30 days. Any upcoming price improvement, or how motivated are the sellers? A lot of times, if the price hasn't come down, the seller's not motivated at all. So it could be a sign. Typically, the real estate agents should be asking for a price reduction after 2 or 3 weeks if the home is not sold. Let me ask you this. Do you think a buyer is going to come in there and pay full price if the home's been sitting there for 6 months with no price reduction and just say, oh, this must be the best deal ever on the face of the earth? Nobody's decided to buy it for the last 6 months, but this must be a great price. Said no buyer ever. So always watch the amount of showings that you have. Watch it taper off. If it tapers off, you're just simply too high, and go from there. So as always, just wanted to advise you what was going on in the market. Oh, I have an ask. We have 5 openings on our team. We are ahead of last year, praise God. And we have an abundance of leads and we have daily training. If you have ever considered or know someone who has considered a job in real estate, it is an incredible market to come into. There are homes for people to buy again. It is normal again. It is not cuckoo. And we have the systems and the leads and the support and the mentorship to help you. And we would love to talk to you about, helping you with a real estate career. Our agents are doing so exceptionally well, and I'm just so grateful for them. So if you know of anybody, or you even want to just discuss it, it's confidential. I would just love to have a discussion with you. But other than that, this video is probably 5 times longer than they recommend you doing because they say 3 minutes. I hope you have an incredible day. If you have any questions on the market, want a home valuation or anything else, let me know. And if you don't, and you just hate this email, you can always delete it. In fact, you can throw darts at it if you want. Just, might mess up your screen a little bit. You could print out a picture of me and throw darts. All right, I hope you have the very best day. Again, anything you need, just call, email, text, throw something at me, the dart, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.